Okay, so we all know what loose farming is, right? Siphons, parasites, units of energy that are conscious and self-aware that are vampiric. Sexual predatory vampires, feeding on the procreation energy between one and another that want to reproduce, another one of what they are, as a unit of energy that is self-aware, which is what love is. So when there's a failure to communicate between one star and another star, the law, then we have to fix that. That's what we're doing. And that changes everything. That's why we're here. That's the truth of it. That's what monadic alignment is. Okay. Now there's no longer a failure to communicate. The first law. Birthing stars, birthing spirits, the first law, the first sun is pure, eternal, absolute love. That's a form and flow of communication, which is a rainbow. So I was going to turn the phone off for the rest of the day after I did some energetic work with you-know-who. And what's on second? Who's on third? 3, the triangulation, the first triangle, the golden triangle. Silence, golden fire. So I was getting ready to turn the phone off because I realized that the last videos I did this morning were done. Okay. And then all of a sudden I saw Chris Hedges. Oh, there must be another video yet to do. And it was put up by Hedges Report about a journalist named Medhurst. I wasn't aware of this, but as soon as I became aware of this law, apparently, that they passed in the UK, it's some terrorism law that allows them to go after people that want to creatively and freely express the love that they feel in their heart. So if you begin reporting, as now we're back to Minority Report, you begin telling the truth and exposing all the lies and the pathogenic parasites that are held captive by the complex number space of their own mind, which is a cage, which is a trap that they can't get out of. And those are all your global intelligence agencies. Okay? So we all know what Nova is, and that's Nova programming. It is what it is. It's a vampire without an off switch. Data-driven units, iRobot. Automatons, soulless clones, all that. Okay? So when I realized that this guy Medhurst had been arrested, he was describing, and Chris Hedges made the point, they didn't just allow the agent Smiths, that apparently were MI5, because Mr. Medhurst said they identified themselves as MI5. That's military, mil-spec. You know what a mil-spec is? That's called a specification of a neuron. Okay? And so instead of allowing the plane with all the passengers to go to the gate and then pick them up, they didn't do that. Okay, that's called a tactic. That's a strategy. That's a wargamer strategy. That's how it does strategizes. What? To maximize the amount of cavitation in water molecules. So if they halt the plane before they get to the gate, everybody on the plane, what's going on here? While they're yanking somebody off the plane, like agents, right? That will increase as a predictive modeling strategy to increase the cavitation and the misfire of neurological communication for all the people that are on the plane. That's what it does. That's its strategy. Increase the amount of cavitation in the water molecules to experience tepidity, which is turbulence, which is implosion. To increase the implosion in their nucleotides. Okay? Because their own mind, the agents are held captive by that system, which is the borders and makes quarantine. They know that. We know that. They know we know that. Okay? That's the truth of it. That's what eternal love is eternal truth. So I will always know the truth. Because the one that is letting me know is the one that I serve, which is the eternal Son, which is the still point of the true vacuum. So that's how the system operates, the system that it is, which is death science, technology, blood sacrifices. It's the only way that it can keep itself running, sadly. And that's why it's so painful. It has to keep killing numbers in order to maintain what it's running as nova programs. It needs a source of electrical power as a finite system. It's closed loop. Okay? When it's closed loop, it cannot replenish itself until it implodes and goes nova. Because they're obsessed with data. They're obsessed with knowing what you're doing. So one of the questions that came to me, and I thought about putting the link into that, over to Bases Project, Miles Johnson. He's a reporter. How come they haven't arrested Miles Johnson? Look at everything that he's been reporting on. Well, they left Miles alone. Well, then why'd they go after Medhurst? See how that works? There is an answer to that, so I'll leave that to the rest of you that even watch what I have to say by virtue of what I've learned. And speed at which we're learning to restore the first sound of music. First rainbow, the first spiral, the crystal core. Pulling in shattered crystal soul fragments to experience being whole pie again. Air sign, ah-ya, mama. 13th mother arc, star firelight cycle. First rainbow, a perfect sphere. Ah-ya, have a beautiful afternoon.